Hi, I'm Paul Germain, and welcome to another session of Smart Boating. As you know, if you've watched the show before, we cover a wide variety of topics, from anchoring to bottom painting. And the general idea is to provide you some information to help you make smarter decisions and have more fun on the water. Today's show is right up that alley, and we're going to learn about navigation and electronics for marine uses. And joining me is a very knowledgeable guy in that area. His name is Jay Morin. Jay, welcome.
Hi, great to be here, Paul.
Great to have you. We got a really cool show here today. You know, this whole area of navigation, electronics is always moving, always evolving, always new stuff. So I want to dive into that. Before we do, can you share with people a little bit about your boating background, what you do currently?
Sure. I've been boating since I was very young. Started off getting my boating safety license when I was 11 years old. And then I joined West Marine back in 2009. And I've been here at different stores ever since. And now I manage the Braintree store.
Okay, excellent. So you've got just the type of background we need for this particular show. So why don't we get right into it?
Sounds great.
Excellent. Well, Jason, you know, this topic of marine electronics and navigational instruments is a big one, and it's constantly expanding, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
But there are a couple things. One is I wanted to share that we're going to be showing examples today of products in the different categories as opposed to endorsing any. We're just going to show examples of what's available. And we're here in front of the fish finder, beginning of the GPS section. And this is a good low-cost way for people to increase the visibility of the fish, right?
Right.
Yeah. What's available here typically?
So these are fish finders that have GPSs built in, so you can save waypoints for your fishing spots or your home base. Yep. But it's not going to give you any chart detail. You know, where the buoys are and things like that. Yeah. It's going to give you some visibility below the water, you know, behind the boat kind of deal with fish finding capability.
Okay, all right. And they come in a variety of screen sizes, right?
Yep, anywhere from 3-inch up to 9 is what I have here, but I think, you know, some fish finders go up to almost 12-inch.
Wow. Wow.
And their fish finding capabilities do vary as you go up in style. Some of them have side scans, some of them don't.
Right.
They have chirp sonar, and
yes,
they have more capabilities and as you go up as well. But
yeah. And just for example, what's chirp mean? That's a fairly popular
so
feature,
instead of a single frequency pinging down to and coming back up, showing you fish, it's a pulse or a range of frequencies going down, and different frequencies will attach to different fish and separate those targets from the bottom or from each other. It just gives you a much better image of what's down there, whether it's bait fish, big fish underneath, or all that good stuff.
Interesting. All right. Well, why don't we slide down together to show some of these other, what's the difference of this section here? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so these are what we call combos. They are a combination of fish finder and chart plotter. So now you have a chart involved where you can, you know, you have a map where you know where the buoys are. You can see the contours where the rises and drops are.
Can you show us a screen
here?
Yeah.
So there we go. So this is a chart, and you can see it's fairly cluttered. This is the navigation chart, so it's going to give you a lot of navigational aids.
A lot of information.
You can also go to a fishing chart, and now you have, as you zoom in, you'll see a lot more contours, which help you identify where you might want to fish.
Right.
Again, where the drops and rises, where the fish like to feed.
Yeah.
And then if you, you know, some of the cool features of the chart plotter would be their ability to navigate and create routes for you these days. So in the past, you had to make waypoints and make your own trail.
Yes.
Now, a lot of them can do something called auto routing or auto guidance, depending on the brand and what have you.
How does that work?
So in this particular model, it's called auto guidance. You can click where you want to go, click auto guidance, and it creates a route.
Wow.
It does show you where some hazards might be to investigate. And this is all based on the parameters of the boat that you input when you first turn it on.
Yeah.
You can also edit them after. And it's also based on the safe depth or the depth of the chart, which is the average low tide
Oh,
depth.
right. That's good to know.
Yep. Yeah.
Very good.
So it can keep you in safe waters based on what you deem safe.
All right. Good point. Yeah. And that's when.
It's going to tell you
not
when there's
so safe.
hazards. Right.
Right.
So-
Nice.
One last feature I want to share with you that's fairly, at least I learned about fairly recently, is some of these can actually network wirelessly together.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can share sonar and waypoints and things like that without having to hook up a wire. So if you have one in the front of your boat,
Yeah.
one in the back of your boat,
Yes.
fishing boat,
Yes.
you can wirelessly connect to Echo Maps, for example. I thought that was a really cool feature.
That is pretty cool.
Instead
I like
of running
that.
wires,
I like that.
costs no extra money.
Yes. Beautiful. Interested in this world of kind of starts with the fish finders and heads into the GPS, and then there's multi-function displays. Can you help people understand what they are and what the advantages are and what some of the changes have been recently?
Sure. Multifunction displays are more modular. So you buy piece by piece screen, sometimes a sonar module, AIS, VHF, all these things, they'll network together
Okay.
and work as one to share data in the most efficient way to help you navigate, help you stay safe out there on the water and do what you like to do.
Right. So this is a common thing with most boats, probably 20 feet and above. Right. They're going for the multi-function display, and there's a variety of manufacturers, whether it's Garmin or Raymarine or Simrad or a host of other ones. You've got a Simrad unit here. What do you like about this, or what do you think is kind of cool?
So what's unique about this one is you don't see a screen size of this variety, this orientation.
Yes.
Which is unique.
Horizontal as opposed
Correct,
to vertical.
yeah. So it's unique because certain dashboards you have very limited space.
Yes.
So this allows you to get a decent sized screen that you can split and almost have like two chart plotters next to each other in a narrow kind of section. So
Right.
it's very nice in that regards.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to share here? Because we're going to kind of go through some different items.
This is Android based, and so you can close out apps and kind of speed things up, and it's their new platform. It's nice, the NSX series.
Okay.
And then as we go, you have other screen sizes, which gives you some options.
Different size boats, different size dashboards.
Exactly. It gives you the options. It's not all the same cookie cutter sizes, so
I
which is
imagine
nice.
they must get brighter each year. That's probably a big goal for manufacturers, right?
Yes, the screen quality is
see
getting
it.
better and better.
Yeah.
Faster refresh, better pixels, IPS screens,
Right.
processing speed. Everything is
Right.
getting better and better,
Yeah.
which is great.
So
So
we've got quite a variety here, and you've got some other items over here. And
yes,
we're moving towards one of the larger displays there. But
Yep.
Is there some points here that you like to make?
so these guys, the chart capability is pretty astronomical.
Is it? Yeah.
You
Just
have
really
navionics built in, you have release shading, you have all sorts of really useful tools, all the tides and current data, just lots of good stuff. You have that routing piece where it makes the route for you built in from the previous versus some of the other ones require a chip.
Yeah.
Where you have to buy that separate. So these are very capable units. You can display engine data,
Oh, you can.
which is
Okay.
really cool. So if we
Yes.
go into vessel, and then that's all vessel data, and then you can look at oil pressure and all sorts of things, depending on your engine, if it's capable of
Right.
displaying that. But,
Integrating into the system. Yeah.
it's certainly nice they have that dashboard with just the screen that does everything.
Yes,
A
yes.
little bit relying on one item, but it's that sleek look that everyone wants these days.
Yes. Yes. And you've got some other units here.
Yep, all different sizes down to a 7 up to a 16 on this here. And then as we go along, we have black box VHF, which we'll talk about VHFs later. And then we have one of the bigger screens we have on display, the 24-inch.
Wow.
And what I have displayed here, which I thought was unique that a lot of people don't know about, is they are capable of showing raster charts, which is built in. And raster charts essentially like a physical chart. it doesn't adjust as you zoom in and everything. It looks just like your paper chart.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
So
That's
it's
nice.
what a lot of people are used to,
Yes.
and it just gives that comfort.
Yeah,
a lot of
that
people
is-
like.
That is nice. Yeah. Yeah. Very legible. Which
Yes.
is key
Yep.
when you're out there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So you'll see what's on your paper chart, and then you can look on this, and it's very much similar, if not the same.
That's
so
nice. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
yeah.
Well, Jason, you know, there's a kind of a integral connection these days between the MFDs and radar, and I guess radar has it stayed relatively stable over the years in terms of you've got solid state and pulse, right?
Yeah, those are the two major types. Solid state is sort of the newest, latest, and greatest.
Yeah.
It's a big difference from the old pulse radar with the magnetron magnet that takes time to spin up,
Right.
emits more radiation. It's a lot more power hungry.
Yes.
So you had to be careful where you mounted those,
Okay.
as well as,
All right.
you know, had to make sure you had enough battery juice.
It used to really consume.
It does.
Consume
It
power,
consumed a
yeah.
lot, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
so
the
solid
solid
state.
state is a lot less power hungry, and it actually doesn't really emit any more radiation than your cell phone.
Wow. That's great.
So you can really mount it in more unique spots where it's not gonna, you don't have to be worried about it.
Right. I constantly think I got a fairly small boat at 24 foot, and when I'm out in fog, I'm
Yep.
constantly thinking, oh, I wish I had radar. But
Sure.
but the footprints are relatively the same with the domes, right? You're talking
Yeah.
a minimum of about 20 inches,
Yep.
and then up to what 24, or somewhere in that
Yeah.
neck of the woods.
And then the open array radar, which
Yeah.
is the ones that spin.
Yes.
Those are, go up to, 6 or 8 feet long. They can go on real big,
Yeah,
mega
yeah.
yachts and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, it's
so,
too much for me.
Yeah.
But okay, so we got solid state and the pulse, and we got the footprints, and then of course they tie into these sophisticated displays, right? Can you show us how a radar
Sure.
might tie into this one?
Yeah,
the
so
information
generally
you see?
speaking, you need a multifunction device to do radar. No
Okay.
combos usually do, because it's a combo of, chart plotting and fish finding. It's not
Right.
a combo of radar and chart plotting.
Right,
So,
right.
Multifunction device such as this one. You've got radar overlay here,
Okay.
overlaid on the chart, so you can kind of compare what the
Oh.
chart's showing you and
Right.
what the radar's picking up.
Right.
So you can say, okay, yep, that's a buoy.
Yes.
It's showing it on the chart and it's showing it on the radar, things like that.
Beautiful. Right.
And then you also have, just your standard single range radar
Okay.
look on the side. And,
Yeah.
a lot of them you can put two different zoom in and zoom out and
Oh.
side by side. So if you're going in, you may want to see what's way far ahead, but you also
Yes.
want to see what's close, because that's where the danger is.
Right.
And radar is commonly used to, see weather situations, help in the dark, identify obstacles, things that could be not good
Yes,
to
yeah.
run into, right,
Yeah.
with the boat. So solid state really helps you separate targets. There's a lot of,
Okay.
they use the Doppler effect on a lot of radar domes where it tracks targets.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so it can identify boats as opposed to waiting for it to refresh and
Oh, right,
figure out if
right.
it's moved or not. And then what if it's a boat standing still? So things
Yeah.
like that. It just really helps the new boater or the less experienced boater with radar, because they're a lot more friendly to use and understand.
I see. Yeah, this is a beautiful display. I can see between the combination, having the radar and having the display,
Right.
put you miles ahead.
It does. It helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, Jason, an overlooked item for some boaters is the VHF, and the VHF is just, I don't know, it's so important, and but it's so fundamental at the same time.
Right.
And so it's a really important area to be aware of. Can you share what's cooking with VHFs? And then we'll talk a little bit about antennas along the way.
Sure. VHFs are broken into two categories. We have fixed mounts and handhelds.
Yep.
We're going to talk about fixed mounts first. Fixed mounts put out 25 watts of power, transmit power, and they have separate antennas that they have a variety of selection with different components for their construction. Some of them have thicker walls where they're more durable. Some of them have, just a wire in the middle So just not, it's real basic antenna. The reception and clarity is not going to be as good. And then you go up to, even some of them have silver plating inside.
Yes.
Silver gets oxidized over time and actually becomes a better conductor, which means it's a better antenna. Ages like a fine wine.
All right, so the antenna is important.
Yes, very important.
Just as maybe in some cases as important as the radio itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So all fixed mount VHFs have DSC, which is digital selective calling. It's your distress button, which can be used in a few different ways. But for all intents and purposes, it lets them know that you're in trouble, where you are, and who you are.
And you don't have to spend a lot of time figuring out that information, sending it out. It has it encapsulated already. So when you hit that button, that signal goes up and all the relevant and required information gets to the right authorities, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you just need a MMSI number, which you can get it for free if you're a Boat US member on their website. And I'm sure there's other ways to get it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different features for fixed mounts, so something to take into consideration, if you're going to flush mount it or not, there's flush mount kits.
Yeah.
The microphones, they sometimes have speakers built in and controls, as this one is a speaker mic and it has controls.
Oh, that's nice.
So if your fixed mount radio is mounted down below, but your microphone is mounted up high, you get to hear it better. There's also extension speakers you can get for them, so if they're in a tough spot. There's a lot of other features that we'll talk about. I can show you a couple other examples.
Okay.
So
we've got a lot of big portfolio of them here.
Yeah.
I'll just slide down the retail rack here. We've got something down here.
So this one here, as opposed to that one has GPS. This one has GPS, but it also has second station opportunity. So if you have a fly bridge, you want a second microphone that'll talk through this, you can. There's AIS receiving built in on this one, automatic identification system, and that allows you to see where other vessels that broadcast that signal are, such as tankers coming down a channel. Where they can't stop for miles versus you need to get out of their way. They also have loud hailer and foghorn capabilities as well. So if you're in fog, it'll blast a fog horn.
Signal automatically.
Automatically. You do need a speaker to go with it, but very, very useful in safety for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, many people have a fixed mount radio in their boat. Some don't have handhelds. Really nice to have that redundancy from a safety perspective.
Sure.
And they're pretty popular. What have you got here in terms of the newest offerings?
Yeah, so just a real big difference with the handheld is, you're not relying on the battery power of the boat. You get about line of sight, 3 to 5 mile range. There's a lot of variety, different battery capacities. Some float like this one, some do not float but are slim and easy to use sometimes. And then we have something like this guy here that has digital selective calling or DSC built in, like all the fixed mounts have. Only a handful of handhelds have that.
Small number.
This one also has AIS feature, which is cool. It's one of the only one that I know of on the market that does AIS. And then just to show you one feature that is really handy. So this guy, all of these handhelds will give you weather capabilities. So if you're out there, you want to know if there's a storm coming, the sky looks a little funny, you can kind of listen in to your local forecast, marine forecasts. Which is really handy.
A nice feature.
A nice feature.
Jason, this whole area of communications is really becoming more and more important, and certainly you have the VHFs and so on the backbone, but now you're getting satellite communicators, right?
Yes. Satellite communicators let you communicate with loved ones and emergency services when you're out of cell service range. So, when you're offshore fishing or just cruising or whatever you're doing out there.
So what are you doing? Are you texting them or?
They do offer satellite phones where you can do voice, but it's very expensive to transmit that much data. So they've become very popular since text messaging has become, and email and all that's really popular. So satellite messengers now. And they've come a long way. They are subscription based because you're
Okay, right.
you're kind of renting those satellites,
The service,
Iridium satellites, and
Yep.
the service.
Yep.
One that I want to highlight that's fairly new is the InReach Messenger Plus.
Okay.
And what's unique about this one is now instead of just text messaging or text-based messaging, you can also send photos
Okay.
and a voice recording. Not
nice.
live voice, but a voice recording.
Right, okay.
So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that they came out with. But yeah, these do require subscription, and you can do it month by month or annual as well.
All right. That's a nice feature that wasn't available historically to people.
Correct.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, Jason, it seems like maybe the top step in the communications framework is internet, right? Everyone enjoys internet at home.
Sure.
And now that's available for their boats as well, right?
Yeah, it's come a long way. Starlink has become very popular, and now they have high-speed, low-latency internet when you're out of cell service range.
Okay.
Even when you're moving.
Right.
Depending on what plan and what kit you get and all that. But it is a subscription-based thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can take it camping, you can do all sorts of stuff, but it lets you communicate, do entertainment out there. Yeah, it's
gonna
handy.
I think it's going to be very popular with people very soon.
I've noticed it
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they can interact on the internet just like they could at home, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Exactly. So there's really nothing more to say about that.
Oh, that's good. Well, Jason, EPIRBs have been around a while, particularly in the commercial fishing fleet, right? Because they're regulated to carry those on board. But,
Sure.
But they've migrated their way down into the recreational boats as well. And it's really two types, right? You can get one that's affixed to the boat and one that's tied to the person.
Correct. Yes. So we have personal locator beacons, PLBs, and we have EPIRBs. And the major difference between them is the PLB is going to broadcast the signals for 24 to 28 hours.
Okay.
EPIRBs will do 48 hours.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
generally in this situation, you're in a survival suit or on a life raft.
Yes.
This one, you're likely in the water.
Right. Well, the thing I like about the personal one is that a guy can be out fishing, catch a rogue wave, flip over into the water,
Yeah.
the boat's fine, so the big EPIRB on the boat's not going to go off.
Right.
But it alerts people to the fact that the fisherman is no longer with his boat, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And in certain emergency situations, you may not have time to get to your EPIRB, so it may go off, but it's with the boat and you're separated from the boat. That can
Right.
happen. So
Yeah.
it's really almost a more important thing to save the person, obviously. So the personal one. Now, some advancements in this field is they added something called return link service, which allows you to test your own EPIRB or
Oh,
PLB
Right.
to make sure the signal is getting to them and coming back to you so it's working properly.
Yeah.
Another thing is they're adding more and more channels, like they added AIS, as we spoke about earlier,
Oh, yeah.
into the PLB or into the EPIRB, depending
Wow.
on which one you get. So it's just
Wow.
another avenue where now the local people in the area could be the savior, as opposed to waiting for someone who comes from port.
Good point. Good point. Well, Jason, in the water around here, when it gets choppy, it's easy to become disconnected with your boat. And these devices that we're holding here are designed to add some safety to that situation, right?
Yes, absolutely. So this is your traditional kill switch lanyard. Right now, there's a new federal law where if it's under a 26 footer and you're on plane or above displacement speed,
Okay.
you're required to have this attached to you.
Right.
Another option is a wireless kill switch. So where you can wear this fob either on your wrist or in a pocket or whatever,
Right there.
and it will wirelessly kill the engine
Yeah.
when, or if hopefully never, you fall overboard or leave the boat from
Yes.
some sort of-
Unexpectedly.
correct.
Yes.
Which adds great safety, but also can prevent some fines.
Yes.
So,
All right.
yeah,
Two benefits in one little package.
exactly.
Beautiful. This time of year, more and more boaters are going out at night, and to have some enhanced vision is a really nice thing to have. What's available in that area these days?
Yes, so there's a couple types of cameras out there. We have thermal cameras here, and we have low light cameras, and then we also have cameras that do both.
Okay.
That have both lenses in it.
All right.
They've come pretty affordable
Yeah.
for even the average, consumer.
Yeah.
And really gone up in quality
Oh, they
over
have?
the years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
So it makes it seem like almost daylight when you're out there and it's real dark. So
Wow. That's
it's
nice.
yeah, it's very peaceful at night. But if some people are boating, it can be dangerous.
Yes.
There could be obstacles in the water, and these can help you identify those.
Yeah. Boy, that's a nice area. I can see that area growing as time goes
It's getting
on.
more and more popular.
Yes.
On more and more boats.
Yes. Well, Jason, it's hard to believe, but it's time to wrap up the show today. And we've really covered a lot of ground in terms of the latest in navigation and electronics. A lot of neat new features that come out that many people may not be aware of. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up the show today?
Well, I mean, if you've noticed, there's been a big focus on safety today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
These electronics are really used for that.
Yes.
And it's really important that people understand it's not just toys, that they're
Right.
there for
Right.
a purpose
Right.
and to keep people safe out in the water.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions or wants more information, you can go to westmarine.com, or you can come into the West Marine in Braintree here and get some personal help from me.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Smart Boating viewers, for joining us. If you have comments or questions, join us at the website www.smartboatingus.com. Thank you.